Hello, welcome to DK Bowl Chat. I'm glad you're here. I'm working on an acrylic painting of a forest. And today I'm putting in trees with burnt umber and ultramarine. There's so many trees in the reference photo that I'm looking at that there's hardly any light behind them. So I have a few more trees to put in, and I'll be doing that. And when I finish today, it will change to this. So stick with me, and I'll show you how I do it. I'm gonna take a 1-inch brush and a little bit of the lighter green, because there's light coming from behind the trees. So I've got a lighter, this green is it's a different manufacturer. Creative Inspirations, middle green is what it's called. And I'm gonna add a little yellow to the green as well, to lighten it up a bit. I know the light's coming from behind us, but still there's light coming down too in this mist. So I'm gonna mix that with a little 1-inch brush into the green and bring that green up a little bit as far as its value. It's gonna be lighter, what I'm saying. And I can tap that in on the trees with my 1-inch brush. But yeah, I'm glad you're here. This 1-inch brush is pretty gnarly. In fact, it's gonna make a circle sort of a shape. I need to make sure that I like what it's putting on the canvas before I continue. So the one that I have here needs some green on it. And I can put some on here, right here. I mentioned in the last video that as things get closer to us, the color is more vibrant and a lot of times darker than in the part where right where I just tapped in. I can take out that circle, sort of a shape right there, with a Q-tip. Because this is dry. It's dry like plastic. So yeah. A very high quality plastic, right? It's fine art. I'm just picking off some of that green where that circle was. And what I'm gonna do is switch up the brush because it's definitely making a shape of a circle. And I don't want it to do that. I want it to make a random design. I could use other things. I don't have to use a 1-inch brush. But I'm gonna use a new 1-inch brush. Right over that tree that I put in last time. And there's another one right here. I'm gonna put a little bit of green. I do wanna leave some of the light showing through. I don't wanna cover every single bit of light on there. There we are. And the 3 that are in the middle, they don't have a lot of foliage down here, so I'm gonna leave them like they are. This guy right here, I can put some on. It's actually making a really nice print for a tree, for foliage, for pine needles. Just tapping it in. And you can practice on your palette to see what it would look like instead of just directly painting on there. You can actually see what it looked like ahead of time. And if you don't like it, switch out the brush. Some of the newer brushes may not have a lot of, like their bristles may not be flared out enough yet. After using your brush for a while, it will naturally flare out a little bit. And you'll be able to do it, no problem. So in here, I need to put a little bit of foliage just between where that tree is, and I don't really want it on this tree, so I can take it off with a Q-tip in a minute. But I can see in the picture, it's kind of, it's definitely here. Like there's a lot of pine needles back in here. I probably should get across the top of that painting as well. That's plenty. This I'm going to take off, so I'm going to use a Q-tip to do that. And I could have taped it off. And then I'll just show you another way. Just wet down the Q-tip that you're using to take off the paint, and then roll it so that it doesn't keep rubbing the same green paint over it, you know. There we go. And the picture has some in between the trees, so I don't want to, I want to have like a, I'm going to get a fan brush to do it. These guys are both dirty, that's fine. But I will do a fan brush now for the smaller branches. And then I can put in branches as well. This is a little 10-0 brush. I'm still using the lighter green. And I'm just tapping the fan brush, and I want to make sure it's not making the design like a fan brush, like that. I don't want it to do that. So I'm coming straight down, tapping it in. Once I run out of paint, I need to load up again. And I can put another tree in front of it. There we go. I think in the last video I ended with a few branches painted on there, but I didn't have, I didn't put on the green before departing from YouTube, or before leaving YouTube. So and I'm gonna put some across the top as well, because otherwise it's gonna look kind of bland. Just here and there, it doesn't have to be any particular design. And then also off the side, and I can do that later as well. So I'm going in with a script liner, and I'm going to do some branches on these trees. This one is in the front, so I'm going to bring a branch out. I like using the script liner. I think I mentioned that last time. They're fun to play with, so if you haven't tried one yet, it's good to get. They're fun to make straight lines. I don't necessarily sign my name with them, but I do use it for branches. And if I have to paint something, a straight line on there. Trees, it's a really good brush for trees. There we go. And do I have any little trees? Right now I'm going to work on the foreground with the foliage that's in the foreground. And I need to finish taking off where I put the masking fluid. There we go. It's just sort of rubberized. It just kind of rolls right off of here. And I'm using the same brush that I used for the green, only I'm going to add more yellow to it and make it a little bit different color. In fact, I think yellow ochre might be a good one to put in there too. But for now, I've got yellow on it as well. And I'll put a little bit more yellow. This is just cad yellow. There we go. There's going to be bushes, ferns. For the ferns, I'm going to actually use I'm going to put some foliage, is what I'm doing, foliage. That would be on a forest ground. Go right in front of the tree and onto the path. And a little fan brush will make some nice fern. Maybe it's going to be coming out like this. And they're pretty yellow. I'm going to add some green to it. And I can take that off just because it's just the yellow didn't mix into the green. There we go. I'll do it again. And the ferns are everywhere. They look pretty nice in this picture. And I don't know that I'm going to paint every one of their little, is it fronds? What are they on a fern? I'm going to just tap them in here with a fan brush and then put in foliage. And I'm coming over the base of the trees here with them. What I don't want to have happen is I don't want to have this be white, so I'm going to need to put something on the ground here. And if I tap in enough green, it'll cover it, but like you can see here, it'll show some of the background. So I'm going to put some foliage here as well. And that's that brush that was making the round. Switch them out to this guy. More yellow, because it's coming in the color of the trees. And I'm going to actually add ground to the whole thing, like I did for the path. Let me tap in this green first. And I'm going to have to stop because it's showing white through it. I don't want to show white. And the path is going to just go to, it's going to keep going that way. I'm going to tap in some brown. That's going to be the ground in the foreground. I think that's what that is for number. And right now I'm using a 1-inch brush. I'm going to switch out to a fan brush. A larger fan brush would be good. That one's a number 6 fan brush. And the ground coming closer to us is going to be darker, so I'm going to put in a little bit of black or blue into it to make it a little darker. But you're not going to see the ground as much because we're going to have foliage in here. This is dirt. What we're painting is dirt. Make it more brown. Okay. Just painting in the dirt. There we go. And we'll put the foliage in there, and I'm gonna get around the sides, and I can do that later. I don't need to have you watch me get around the sides, but I'm going to paint around the sides as well. There's dirt. And we've got the pathway right there. A little bit of white on that pathway. Just make the pathway all the way back. Okay. You go back in the green and yellow together for the foliage. So I have brighter green. That's the one I was showing you before. Creative Inspiration. I don't typically buy it. I think it was on sale one time and I thought, oh, I'll try this paint too. I pretty much stick with Blick or Liquitex. Making that green a little bit less green. Mix it in with the green that I already have and a little bit of yellow. There we go. And in the picture, there's a super big tree right here, which I can put in. It's kind of coming in at a sideways kind of angle, so I'll put that in later. Right now, I'm going to put it in the green that I've made for the plants in the foreground and mixing it together. And the ferns are a little bit more yellow as well, so I tap that right into the pathway where the plant's coming in. Yeah, we'll see the dirt behind it. I don't want it to all look the same. I'm going to put some ferns coming out of it. And it will be easier when this brown is dry. With a fern, I'm going to get a fan brush for the fern. And I can do some, you know, script liner. Is there any? Yeah, ferns. Let's do fern with a script liner. And yellow. Thin it down a little bit. It's got ferns in throughout here. I'm just drawing the line of the fern. There we go. There's one over here. I'm just doing straight lines right now. I'm going to add the fern part later. With the fan brush. Loading some on the fan brush, some of that lighter green, and I'm going to pull it out flat so that the brush is pretty flat, like that. And then from this I can just pull down for the fern, or pull up. I need to wet it down because it's not sticking to the paint, so I'm just going to wet it down with a little bit of water and go into the paint with the water. There we go. Pull it out flat. Now this will be easier when this is dry. There we go. I'll just put a little bit on there. Make those ferns come out, huh? Whichever way it's angling, that's the way the fern's going to go. That's pretty good right there. I like that. there's some of them back in here too. Okay, I'm gonna let the rest of this dry and then I will put more in. So I'll come back and do more because this is still wet. Thank you for joining me today. Please subscribe to my channel, DK Chat, and like the video if you like it, and come back and see the remaining of this painting, probably in the next video. I will see you in the next video. God bless you.